Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another wonderful episode of Under the Table and Dreamin'. Last week, we just talked about the recap of Nashville. How has your assimilation back to society been, Chipper?
It took till this past weekend to get assimilated.
Yeah? That's good.
Yeah.
Well, you're back.
We fit a lot into a couple days down there. So,
Yeah. What's new with you? What's going on up there in Pennsylvania?
well, the Lanternflies are hitting Pittsburgh good.
What's up with those? Here's, I guess, my question for you. I don't think those were around when I was a kid, were they?
No. This is just, they came last year.
Yeah. What are they?
They're like a moth.
Yeah.
Kind of purple color. When you spray them with soapy water, they die and they open their wings and there's a red spot on them.
Really?
Soapy water, yep. Whoa.
A little better. Why soapy water?
I don't know why it kills them.
That's weird.
You would think, that or stepping on them.
Yeah, or taking a bat to them like Cousin Andy.
Well, Andy took a salt gun to him.
Oh, yeah, that was it, huh?
Yeah.
I saw your comment on Heather's post.
Well, if he was home, there wouldn't be that many.
Yeah, true. There was a ton there. So they don't, what do? They just invade?
Yeah, they eat foliage. I mean, now Maddie told me she didn't have them near. She had them at school because last year they had them terrible. Duquesne had them terrible. Pittsburgh, that side of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I remember it was a huge issue in Pittsburgh because there was videos of guys going out and you're supposed to kill them, right? Got it.
But she said it wasn't near as bad at home. And then Heather popped off with that video today that it looked pretty bad.
I mean, I thought lanternflies were a one-time thing because I've never been up there for lanternflies. Mm-hmm. Like I've been visiting when they've been a topic of conversation, but since I moved down here, that's when am I stopping lanternflies with my presence? Maybe. Because they started after I left.
I don't know. I know they are a pest. I know we probably shipped them to 5 different states yesterday.
What do you mean?
Well, when I set my UPS out, and they were all over the loading dock there.
Oh,
and I'm sure they got into the boxes. And
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, a company like you guys would be shipping things to other parts of the world. And I mean, I guess that's one way a bug would, but the bug has to like if you're shipping shit to Laramie, Wyoming, this bug ain't surviving there. So it does have to be in like the perfect situation and perfect environment to thrive. Yeah, but I don't think there's ever a time to unhibernate in Laramie, Wyoming.
There's got to be a little bit of time, but
maybe.
There's got to be at least a 70-degree day. Although it doesn't seem like they come out until the high, like 80s.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at a map. It's pretty east Pennsylvania except for Pittsburgh. There's like a straight line from Pittsburgh to like Wheeling that they're in. They don't bite. They don't do anything. They're just gross and annoying.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. I haven't heard of anybody getting bit by one yet.
Listen to this one. Spotted lanternflies can't fly very far on their own, but they have managed to spread by hitching rides with humans and vehicles, which is why Urban, who is this somebody or another, says it's important to be vigilant about your surroundings and kill the insects or any egg masses if you see them. If you don't kill them, you'll carry them, she says. They're not great flyers, but they're constantly moving. If you see a spotted lanternfly, report the sighting to local agricultural agencies.
They'd be getting a lot of calls lately.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen somebody like call in that type of stuff. It's just kind of like it's happening. We're in the world where it's happening.
We were supposed to get the locusts again this year, and I haven't seen. We were both supposed to get 2 different kind of locusts this year.
Really?
Yeah, the 7 and the 13, whatever they are. But I have not seen a locust, and actually we didn't see lanternflies up until like a week ago.
Yeah, that's
maybe
fair.
2 weeks, and we still don't have them here at home. But Pittsburgh got them. And so does Heather.
Yeah, Heather has almost all of them, I would say.
She had a bunch.
Almost every single lanternfly I have ever seen. Yeah, it was funny. There was a guy who made a video 2 years ago, whatever it was, in Pittsburgh, and it was him. And I don't remember what the song was. It was a very hardcore, like, rock song, like Megadeth style. And it was him in a cape, just running around the streets of Pittsburgh on hills and stuff, killing lanternflies. And the caption was "the hero no one asked for." I think you might have shown me it at one point. Like, it was a guy just going around. Votash definitely did, and he had I think a trash can shield and a cape, and was just murdering lanternflies.
I have never seen it, so it wasn't me.
Okay, I'll see if I can find it. But are they heavy at the house?
No, that's what I said. We don't have any here.
Got it. Which feels weird.
Unless they're coming home on my car, you know.
Which, I mean, you might have brought them from work.
Right.
Are they all over?
Might have them now.
Are they all over where you're at for work right now? Like everywhere there? Or is it a pretty significant area?
I don't know about the rest of the strip because I don't venture, but
Yep.
I know all over our loading dock there's the one. My boss takes a bottle of soapy water out with him, and then the other guy, he's out there. You can hear him stomping them when he's out there smoking his cigarettes. He just gives them hell.
Man, I just looked up in TikTok Pittsburgh lanternflies, and there are a lot of them. I think it's an interesting thing to tell humans, hey, this thing you're about to see, you can kill it. Because it makes me go back to the day when we were catching fireflies and we let them all go. And I'm not going to say it was all him, but AJ Caliper went ape shit on a bunch of lightning bugs. And
That's why we don't have them anymore, because of freaking AJ.
I mean, it was one of those things where, like, I vividly remember, oh, I'm so sorry. I vividly remember, like, capturing them on all this stuff, and then just, he started stomping them, and I was just like, this can't be good. Like, we're not. And I remember looking at you and Mom like, can we do that? And the answer was a resounding no.
Well, they don't hurt anything.
No, and they're beautiful.
And that's why we don't have many anymore, because of AJ.
Do you think there's a difference between lightning bugs and fireflies?
Same thing.
Okay, cool. Down here, they're fireflies, but I think they're lightning bugs. Yeah, I had to.
They have Heinz ketchup down there. So.
Well, I had to do the whole song and dance about, what do you call this? What do you call that? There's just flat out not like chipmunks down here.
Grinnies?
Yeah. Well, so I was trying. I said, "Do you guys know what a grinny is?" And they said, "No." I was like, "It's a chipmunk." And they're like, "The hell's a chipmunk?" Like, I never thought about it. There's not chipmunks down here, really.
Really?
There's squirrels. Yeah, like I don't know. Chipmunks are common, is what I see. There's like the eastern chipmunk is common in Tennessee. I ask people, I don't know if they got a different word for it or something, but I'm like, yeah, about grinnies. I had to explain to them what a chipmunk is, so then I could tell them it's called a grinny because it stuffs its mouth and it smiles, is what I'm assuming. But they know what a groundhog is.
Okay, at least they call them groundhog.
Yes. Is there another name for them?
I'm sure there is, but I don't know it.
Other names for groundhogs.
You'll say it and I'll know it. I've heard of it.
Okay, so technically
Whistle
woodchucks.
pig.
So whistle pigs, woodchucks, and thickwood badgers. Which whistle pig's the only one that I think. A woodchuck feels different.
No.
It's the same?
Yeah.
But they don't chuck wood. What about a gopher? Let's see. Groundhogs are bigger and stockier, and they hibernate in the winter, unlike gophers, which have a special cheek bone. All right, let's kill gopher. Let's just do woodchucks first. Groundhogs and woodchucks are the same amount, but they don't chuck wood.
They do in the commercial.
What commercial?
Didn't you ever see that commercial?
What commercial?
Oh, I can't remember what. Hey, you damn woodchucks, quit chucking my wood. I don't know who it was for.
Woodchuck, chucking wood, Geico.
Geico.
He says, yeah, you know that Geico can save you money on car insurance? Well, did you know woodchucks do chuck wood? And he's just, I'm watching it now, they're just yucking that wood into the water.
That was a good commercial.
That's funny. Yeah, how do you get the name woodchuck? That's funny.
I don't know.
Hey, you damn woodchucks, you stop chucking my wood. And they just throw another one and run away. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, there's no lanternflies is what I'm happy about down here, though. I think they would be... I don't know. What's Loki do with them?
I don't know. We don't have them here.
What would he do with them? Would he be scared of them?
He'd probably eat it.
You think?
Somebody on Heather's thing said her dog couldn't keep up eating that many. So,
Damn.
somebody's dogs eat them.
And they about to have babies in that dog's belly or something. That's a lot.
Yeah, I thought we would have them this year here. Because they kind of moved around Pittsburgh. They started over on the Duquesne side. Then they went to the North Shore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that day I went down to get the speakers and stuff down at whatever that place is called.
Mm-hmm.
They were everywhere.
Damn. We need to get you one of them salt guns, even though they're not at home. Those look fun.
You think?
I do. I don't know what I'd get you to shoot, but
yeah,
maybe Nico.
Maybe.
Probably hurt like hell, you think?
Well, he said he.
Oh yeah.
Nico's,
what
left
did he
the
say?
wound. Took a week and a half to heal. I think maybe it was just days.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just salt. We had one. So we had one. I guess before I joined, back a button, there was a window that was like something was coming in, and there were these flies everywhere around this plant. So Mike Boyd is our head of the creative like suite of designers. He awesome, good old guy, good old boy. Probably in his, I'll respect him. Probably in his 60s. Good old boy. Brought in a salt gun. And so they had it there, and I never got to see it shot. I never got to shoot it. But he cocked it and took it back. And I was like, damn, I came a week too late.
Rock salt stings like hell.
Yeah.
Because I've been shot with rock salt. Halloweening. I still have
Out of what?
Out of a shotgun.
That would hurt.
It stung. I have a dimple on my ass.
How many times you been shot with shit?
That's it.
All right. You never been shot?
No.
That would hurt. Do you know Germ has?
He's been shot?
Yeah, did you ever meet Germ and Michelle?
No, I've heard of Germ and Michelle.
Good friends. Yeah, I guess maybe it was stabbed. Neither one sounds good. I don't know if stabbed would be better or worse, to be honest with you.
Depends on if it's a good knife or not.
Yeah.
Clean knife.
Yeah. It feels like a ripping, I don't know. What's the worst injury you've had? Didn't you crack your head open?
Several times. Torn ligaments were bad.
I remember you in softball tearing something up so gnarly, and it was purple and green and yellow.
Well, that was a hamstring.
Was it? I thought it was like your Achilles or something.
My ankle, one time, your Uncle Dick and I were DJing a job out at Spring Church. And we were done for the night, and we were putting stuff in the van, and the roller got left, and I stepped on that roller, and it was nasty. Nasty. Because I came home, and your mom was asleep, so I just literally crawled to the back room where I'm at now, and the fridge was back here with beer at that time.
Nice.
And the TV, we had a TV back here, so I just passed out.
Yeah, well, in your defense, you had everything you needed.
Right.
You had a couch. You had beer. Was the beer fridge in the toy closet? That would be cool.
No, it was set right. There was a stand there.
What did you guys use that toy? I know, now we're just getting a rabbit hole. What did you use the toy closet for before it was toys?
Well, we lived in this room for a little bit when we first moved in here. We were in here. And then...
Was that the closet then?
Yeah. It was our closet. Not much closet.
No. Explains why all your shirts were just from softball.
Yeah. No shit. And then we moved to the upstairs.
What was upstairs?
Well, let's see. You had everybody else that lived with us.
See, I never knew people lived with you when you bought. I thought you moved in and it was yours.
No. We had Grandpa and Ralph all living with us.
I never knew that.
Really? There's some good times. There's also, Ralph died in this room.
I think this should be legally obligated to tell people if people died in a...
You never ask. Yeah, we found him.
Wow.
I come home from work. I was working second shift. It was like 1:30 in the morning. He was up watching Pirates who were playing on the West Coast. So we sat there for a little bit, and finally I said, hey, I'm going to bed. And this is when Ralph's we had moved upstairs. Ralph's room moved down to here. And I said, you need to go to bed. I
Stairs
said,
were too much.
So in the morning, and here you go. Not only did those two live here, we also had a cleaning or a lady come in every day and make food for Mr. Campbell.
Okay.
Okay. So I believe Mom was pregnant with Nico at the time. Anyway, so I go to bed. It's like 2:30. Around 7 o'clock, there's a knock at our door. And the lady that comes here says, I think Ralph's dead. And I was like, man, I was just with Ralph. And we came down, came in the room, and yes, Ralph passed in his sleep.
That's a shame.
You would have liked Ralph.
Ralph was, I know Ralph.
Your mom's uncle.
Mom's uncle, thank you. And that was Grandma's brother?
Yes.
Got it. Yeah, it's tough to explain, because I tried to explain to Kat how cool Mom's dad was, like Grandpa Wilson was. Mm-hmm. And like how just cool he was. Like, I don't know. So I feel like most of the family members that people sadly never get to meet were really, interestingly enough, cool.
Ralph was a special kind of person.
Yeah.
And he was a pirate fan.
Ah, that's good. That's good.
Through and through.
How long had Ralph lived in the house? Like years, and that's why he was still there, or he moved in with you guys because he needed help?
Here we go. We bought the house.
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Wilson were like the only family local. Okay, so they were spending time because Mary Ellen lived down in Maryland, and Junior lived down in Georgia.
Yep.
So they were spending a lot of their time here. So there was an idea brought up about, and we were renting a house at the time out in Spring Church.
Mm-hmm. With the wood paneling?
With the what?
Wood paneling.
Wood paneling.
I remember one picture of because I asked Mom once if you guys just always lived here, and you said you had another place. I just remember a picture you two sent on some shaggy carpet with wood vertical paneling.
It was Ding Dong's house.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. But anyway, so they wanted to start enjoying retirement.
Makes sense.
So there was a thought process put up about buying a house and letting those two live here for as long as as long as they could, so Mr. and Mrs. Wilson would be able to go enjoy themselves. And the price was right, and so we accepted. And then Ralph lived with us he made it about a year. I don't think Nico was born, but no.
I was going to say, I feel like I saw pictures of baby Nico with Ralph.
Yes. Yeah, he made it to that birth, and then he passed. And then the grandfather started, I got grandfather stories, but...
Mom's grandfather?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one day I came home, and Ralph come running up to me. He says, Chip, I got to talk to you. I was like, what's up, Ralph? He's like, Daddy was hedge trimming, and remember that 200-footer you had? You now got 2 100-footers. I'm like, he got the extension cord. He's like, yep. I was like, okay.
That's the best way to word that I've ever heard.
He's like, he was nervous wreck, Ralph was. But then another one, come home one day, opened the door, and Mr. Campbell's sitting on the front porch, and he got a smile on his face, and he said, hey. And I said, hey. I said, how's it going? He said, I had a good day today. I was like, really? I was like, good. I said, well, what made it a good day? He says, bowel movement. I was like, okay.
Finally got it out the system, huh?
I was like, that's a good one. But he started wandering, and he was wandering, and then he'd be wondering where he was. And so it came at that point that they had to put him into an assisted living home. And that's when we got the house. Well, it was just the three of us at that time, and then you came along there shortly after.
When you guys got the house, so the back bedroom was where you guys stayed from the start. Were all 4 bedrooms upstairs full?
No.
Or all 3, excuse me, all 3 bedrooms upstairs?
No, the one we moved into was empty.
Got it.
I think Ralph had your old room. Grandpa had Nico's room.
And did Ralph have the teddy bear wallpaper?
No, that was for you.
Damn. Trying to find a tie-in to make it manly.
No, that came for you. Actually, I think
it was for Nico, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's in there first, and then we moved him over to the other.
So for anybody listening, this is just us talking about the house, what's happening there. You walk in, entranceway, closet to the right, living room to the right, staircase up, dining room left, go through the dining room, kitchen, another hallway downstairs, basement, back room, bathroom there, upstairs, bathroom, 3 bedrooms, attic. Structurally, nothing's ever changed about that house since you guys have owned it. What about the yard? What did it used to look like?
There was a lot more trees.
Oh, really?
I mean, well, you knew. Wait a minute. No, it pretty much the same as you had it growing up.
Where were more trees?
Well, I forgot you grew up here, so I didn't start cutting trees down. I don't know. You weren't around for the 3 big trees in the back of the house that Andy almost. You know my friend Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Him and I were cutting them down.
Didn't it almost go the wrong direction?
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe you were.
Calipers? No, that was the one. No. You're talking about down in the yard.
Yeah.
Got
right
it.
Behind the house. Where Yuns 2 had me plant the 2 maple trees that I just had cut down.
Yep. Which were nice trees.
That was dumb. You take 3 out and put 2 in.
Yeah. We lost 1 tree. We got it all handled. Was the grapevine always there?
Grapevine was there. I think there used to be a weeping willow tree.
Wow. I remember that? That feels like something that I kind of remember, but not really.
There was a big ass weeping willow tree because it drew snakes. Like there was always water around the base.
Yeah.
And there was always like snakes around it. So
they're pretty trees, but I feel like they're a hassle for some reason.
They're dirty trees. Drop branches all the time and draw snakes. So it was gone. That's where the burn spot is, down in the backyard.
Like the burn pile?
Like where yeah.
Huh.
Like right in front of the shed.
I don't think I knew that. I did get to tell people, I forget why we got on the story. It was something about like the persistence of youth or something. And I got to tell everyone the story about us driving up to Northern Steel Field and getting that goalpost and that whole fiasco. And then at the end of it, me just shoving it down the hill. And then, because I ended the story with, and then I looked at my dad and said, okay, now I need the grass cut. And he said, go cut the grass. I was like, son of a gun. Well, yeah, it's a good yard. Nico almost got his top clean off by a swing set.
Yeah, that was a winter adventure.
Sledding down a big hill right into some danger.
Yeah, he almost. Good thing he had what he had on.
Little Pikes helmet.
He had no. He had a snowsuit with a tassel cap, so he had like padding up there.
Oh, was that it? I couldn't remember if. I think his mom thought he had a helmet. I didn't think so.
Didn't go down the track. Went off the beaten track.
Tried to. Wild child.
Stayed there ever since.
I was gonna say there's kind of a correlation between that and that.
Hey, he does watch.
How do you know? What did he say?
Sunday when we went to the zoo.
Yeah.
He says, Dad, that part where you said Nico will get this, he said, I got it. He said, I got it. He said, I was like, okay.
Didn't know that.
He does watch.
How was the zoo?
Depressing. Really. It was a nice, cool day.
Yeah.
And nothing was up and running, moving.
Yeah.
There's a lot of onesies and exhibits were closed.
Oh, it's like it was prime time.
It was just rather depressing.
I feel like on days that they're going to have exhibits closed, you give half off or something. That's depressing.
$26 for a senior citizen ticket.
Wow, we're there?
Oh, hell. How old do you think I'm not?
I thought senior citizen was how old? Are you 65?
63.
I thought senior citizen was 62.
Yeah.
I thought it was 65.
Yeah.
Wow, senior citizen. What comes with that? What'd you get it with your AARP card?
I don't $5 off my zoo ticket.
You get
That's
anything
about
off at
it.
Denny's?
We're
Yeah.
supposed to get like money off at restaurants and shit too, but we never check.
Do you think that you don't check because mom doesn't want to be a senior citizen or because you forget?
We forget.
Yeah. That's fair. Wow, senior citizen, Chipper.
You get an ARP card at 55. They want your money quick.
Yeah, yeah. Did you guys do anything else with Nika or just hit the zoo and drop him back off?
Zoo and drop them back off.
Busy day?
What's that?
He have a busy day or just...
No, just, I mean, she asked him if he wanted to tag along. He said, yeah. And,
Nice. Just three of you?
yep.
Okay. I didn't know if the kids went, Maddie and Ben, or not.
No. It was just the three of us.
Yeah, we got to go to when you guys were there, funny enough, we were at the Chattanooga Aquarium, the Tennessee Aquarium, which it was very cool and huge. Everyone hyped it up so much that I kind of expected a little bit more.
Mm.
They break it up in a way that's like one side is ocean and the other side is rivers, which is cool. So like one side they did have like penguins and a bunch of animals, and the ocean side did have monkeys, which is cool, like lemurs. I got to touch, so it's funny, there was a stingray exhibit you could touch them on. I was like, I'm good. We get over to the riverside. Guess what fish they allowed you to touch? No, good guess. Sturgeon.
Oh, yeah?
They weren't the monsters you see, but they were like 4 to 5 foot sturgeon in this little like mini pool. And I went in, I was feeling it. They were fun, man. You ever felt a sturgeon?
No.
They're cool. I mean, it's like a shark, except dense. Like it's sandpaper, but it feels like they're made out of rock. You can hit them and hear it. They like to be pet. They knew whose hand was in and kept coming back and would run and you just feel it. But Kat was like, well, why wouldn't you touch the stingray? Like, stingrays are cool and floaty and all. What? She's like, that fish is ugly. I showed her a picture of them big sturgeons people are catching out in the middle of nowhere. And I said, because it would be sick to catch one of these one day. I'm never going to go try to catch a giant stingray. And I just want to say that I did it, so when I get in that situation, I can at least say I know what it feels like. Like, and if a little one ain't going to bite you too, maybe a big one will. I don't know. It was a little confidence builder.
You've already caught stingray.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, you did pet stingray.
That's the other thing, too. I was going to say, most places have stingray. I've never seen come pet a sturgeon. They had this giant exhibit in the ocean side. I mean, it was huge, and it was down a spiral staircase. But at one point, I was like, what are the people freaking out? Kids are all freaking out in a good way. You look in, there's a crew of like 5 divers in there cleaning it, waving at the kids. It was funny, but they had each diver, I guess it was technically an even number, each cleaner had someone with this big, like, it kind of looked like if you had a keyboard with that X frame, it looked like the bottom of one of those where it was like a rod down and then had a little cylinder that was plugged. And it was kind of like just one rod with like a T on each side. But Kat was like, well, what's that thing? I was like, that's to push sharks, if they come near them, away. And it's really funny to think about that because there were some big sharks in there with the other fish too. But that's all it is, yeah. Just a guy with a little T-stand rod protecting the world against dirty algae and sharks. So,
So it was worth it?
Yeah, very much so. It was. I would go back to Chattanooga. I have a blog that I'm writing about the trip with all these pictures and stuff. Friday we got to Saturday, excuse me. Went to Top of the Rock, which was that brewery, which did really well. Got a 14.3. Yeah, the view. I had the view lower, and then I was like, like the space, because the restaurant space isn't great, but like that had to be the top view. So did that, then went to the cabin and hung out, and then we went to this beautiful place called Rock City, which I'll tell you flat out, it took us 25 minutes to get there, and 17 of those minutes was driving straight up. Because from where we were, you got to get to the bottom of the mountain and then drive over to another mountain, go the whole way up this mountain. We get up there, we go to this little liquor store, met some lady, just bought some stuff for the cabin. Go, and it's just this little Greek place in a town where people are driving their golf carts to it. And like kids are out in the yards, and like some kids are running from one yard back to the restaurant to eat real quick and then back to the yard. And like it was like a Hallmark movie type of place. It was really cute. Went to Walmart, bought some more stuff, came back, there was a hot tub, and then we lit a fire, made some s'mores and hung out, went to bed. Wake up the next morning, we went and got breakfast in Chat at some gluten-free place, of course. Went to the aquarium, which was cool. Went to this really sweet sports bar for the Steelers game, which was fun. I met a guy whose family was from Johnstown. So we're everywhere, Sid.
Yeah.
And then from there we went to this thing called Ruby Falls, it's a guided tour of the biggest indoor waterfall. So it takes you down like 200 some yards into the mountain, and then you walk through. It was really cool. And then we went for dinner at this super, super fun. It was like, I forget what they actually called it. Not Persian, but kind of like some interesting cuisine, not a traditional cuisine place. And went back to the cabin. I think lit a fire, took a nap out by it, woke up, went to bed. We watched sunset both mornings, though, which was cool.
I saw those pictures.
I was the only one to take a bath in that beautiful bathtub, too.
Really?
Well, it's tough. There was an outside shower, and then there was the bathtub, but with a shower hook. But I'll tell you flat out, she said, I'm going to take a nap real quick. I said, cool. Said, I put a record on, filled that whole egg bathtub up, sat my fat ass in that thing, and just looked out into the view. I said, this sucks for anybody looking back, but here we are.
Your screen is blurry.
Your screen is blurry. So the beautiful thing about Riverside is it records both of our videos locally and then merges them together.
Okay.
So
normally you're not blurry.
Huh. You're almost always blurry. But yeah, what it'll do is I can see myself crystal clear. It will record that video and record yours and make a little record baby.
Okay.
If you will.
I just never noticed it before.
Yeah, I got a bone to pick with you.
Go ahead.
Kevin can fuck himself.
Oh, yes, he can.
What?
And that whole show can.
What is wrong with the show?
That is the kind of humor.
Which
that
part?
Guy,
the sitcom.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
That is the kind of humor I cannot stand. And then what's her name? Who played on Schitt's Creek?
Yeah. The main character.
Yeah. I mean, she's already. I saw 5 minutes of it last night, and they're ready to kill her. She's trying to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
It just isn't me.
That's fair.
I tried.
All Mom mentioned about it was just that I asked her if you liked it, and she said he told me I could watch it after he went to bed. I was like, shit. I know. So I told you about the origin of that show?
Yes.
That is one of those shows where it's the point of it. But I understand that if that's the point of it and you don't enjoy that, you're not going to enjoy it.
All right. Like last night, there was the Steve Avery thing. And it just, to me, I hate to use this word, it's stupid.
So it is. You're angry at someone making fun of the joke. But you're angry at the joke. I'm with you. The Steve Avery thing is so stupid. But that's why that's the point. Is that it's funny. So Kat and I watched the show. We'll probably watch a couple episodes tonight. And so when you talk about the metric of like, were you on your phone? She is on her phone during the sitcom stuff and pays more attention during the drama. I am the complete opposite. I love the drama stuff. Don't get me wrong. I think it's the show. The sitcom stuff, knowing everything that's going in the drama is so much funnier to me because it's so stupid.
And that's the kind of
But that's why it's funny to me, because if I was just watching the sitcom, I would never, ever watch it. I think it'd be so stupid. But the fact that it's this pulls you out, juxtaposition, she has this whole other life, but when he's around, it's all for him, and it plays into her. There's a couple parts where she basically freaks out, and she's like, no, like, the world is made for guys like Kevin to win, and like, everybody just goes, oh, it's Kevin, he can do whatever he wants, like, it's insane, and it's stupid, and it's Peter Griffin, it's Homer, it's Kevin James, it's all of them guys.
It wasn't for me. We'll have to try again.
How was week 1 of football for you, Pa?
It was good. The Seahawks won.
Yep. Kenneth Walker looks good.
Yeah. Metcalf didn't do a whole lot, but
Lockett did, though. He had a good game.
which is good for the Seahawks. Wasn't good for my fantasy team, but if Cooper catches that did you
Yeah.
see that's if Cooper catches that with the yardage,
Yep.
and I have Monday night, because he pulled out 19 points on
Yeah,
Monday.
he killed it.
It would have been a different game for between you and I. At Cooper, I've never seen Cleveland look like ass. They just did.
Yeah, they were terrible.
Watson, they should run him out. I hope they play Tampa Bay this year. I do.
So the Watson stuff's funny because they ran Baker out of town. They backed up a brink truck of guaranteed money. They missed out on all the stuff that goes into it. But at the core of it, remove the Deshaun Watson is a terrible piece of shit sexual predator. Remove the Cleveland Browns being a complete joke of an organization. Remove all of their fans being, shut up, bueno, terrible idiots. He is a bad quarterback. Yes, is it easy for me to say that as a Steelers fan, knowing it's the Browns? Does it bring me joy that they have a bad quarterback? Yes. If he was on any other team, I would sit there and go, he is a bad NFL quarterback, and you need to put Jameis Winston in.
Is that who the backup is?
Jameis Winston and Dorian Thomas Robinson, I believe is his name. He was at UCLA. They like him as the 2 or whatever, but Jameis is there, man. I mean, Deshaun, that, in my opinion, is why guaranteed money in sports is so bad anymore. Everybody wants their guarantees, I have no issue with a player asking and getting their guarantees. He's going to be the perfect case for why teams say, we'll see.
Those balls he was throwing over. And Brady even brought it up. He's like, some coaches would say, hey, give the guy a chance at a jump ball.
Yeah.
But there was so many of those. And I'm thinking in my mind, okay, does he know his guy doesn't have a chance and he's just throwing it away? But no, there was way too many.
Agreed. It was bad. That was happening when we were at the final place for dinner, and I was just watching this game in absolute awe. Because do I think that he's going to be this quarterback world beater? He's never going to be who he was with the Texans. Do I expect him to be who he was with the Texans? No. Too much has happened. Too many years gone by. Too different asks. All that jazz. But that guy was terrible. And you could talk about pressures in the O-line and drops. You can bring up whatever you want. Terrible. Terrible.
But
let's see.
Other than that, your Steelers got to win.
Yeah, Justin Fields is apparently going to be the starter for next week, too, off the heels of Russ not being 100%, but they like it. Chris Boswelled them to death, as we traditionally do.
Lost the punter.
Yeah, which sucks. He was a really good punter, and I was really happy to just have a punter. So that's a sucky one. For me, though, the other side of it is... I think I worded it this way. I don't think Russell Wilson turns that first bad snap into a 3-yard gain. And I don't know if it scares me more that he can't do that, or it scares me more that I need a quarterback who can do that. And I think it's the latter. But I will say, I love our center, Frazier. He had a great game after that. He says he's the kid out of West Virginia we drafted in the 2nd round. Stud. But he comes out and says, you get hyped up, you wait your whole life to play in the NFL, and then I do that on the first snap. I would be surprised if that happens again this season, unless something's out of his control. I think he's going to come back better because he was great after that, and for him to harp on that is pretty significant.
Now, let me ask you, take the 3 points.
Yeah, every time, every day of the week. It's not even close. That was as much as I give Tomlin a long leash, that was one of the stupidest things I've ever seen.
Second point. Justin Fields has been in this league how long?
This is his 4th year.
Okay.
Fourth year, I want to say.
You call a 4th down play. You come to the line. You see your defense is stacked to the inside. Do you run the play that they give you, Or do you say, okay, let's try an audible because my legs will run pretty fast and I bet you I can get outside?
In a room where you are quarterback 2 with a new OC who used to be a head coach and Mike Tomlin, I would be floored if they gave him the ability to audible out of certain calls. I don't know the answer to that, but I would be floored if they gave Justin Fields all the weapons and confidence for him to say, I see something I want to audible out. Like, I think all of us were just, I don't know. I have guys, my thing was, which kind of bit me in the ass, trust your defense enough to get the points. Now, the flip of that is trust your defense enough to go forward on fourth. Luckily, we have the best defense in the NFL, which is great. Yeah, I don't indict Fields too much on that, but it's not a bad thought or take at all.
He's your quarterback.
Yep.
You got to give him, if he sees something that, I mean, I'm no football guy, but that play was just terrible, and it should have been a field goal anyway.
Yeah, so, and basically where I was at with the people being like, because Matt Persluke, a good friend in our one good chat, was like, I love going for it, like this. I was like, yeah, but the field goal there makes it, I believe it was at that point an 8-point game.
Yep.
And I'm like, that is always better than 5 because there's, even if the defense lets up and they come back, they still got to go for 2 on it, as opposed to they then are down by 5. I don't know. There's data and stats, and here's the annoying thing about football nowadays is it's turned into, well, what do the numbers say? The numbers say we should do this, or we should go for it, or we should. Yeah, but there's also the downside to the numbers if it doesn't work out. So we got lucky, I think. But I'm happy we played Atlanta. They seemed just as disorganized as us, so that was nice. Could have been worse.
Yeah, week 1 in the NFL. How about New England beating Cincy?
Cincy looks like they're in trouble. That's how I'll word that one. Chase, Higgins, whatever's going there, the rushing attack with Moss and Brown, they look like they're in trouble. I liked him going into this year. I do not like them now.
I mean, Keaton said they normally start slow.
Yeah, but that's a different. Like, agreed. That's just such a different slow. It feels like that was a what are we doing? Not just we're slow. But hey, you never know.
Let's see who else. Baker Mayfield threw for 4. I like that.
Yeah, he looked great. He said, it was a clip where he said, I'm gonna throw it to Mike if they keep leaving him open. Next drive, Mike Evans touchdown.
How old is Mike Evans?
My guess would be 33? 31. 31. So we're the same age.
That man just keeps getting better. Well, he keeps grabbing touchdowns.
I think it's him or Keenan Allen, in my opinion, as the most underappreciated wide receivers I'll ever see.
Cooper's pretty underappreciated, too.
Cooper Kupp?
No.
Oh, Amari Cooper. That's fair.
Cooper.
That's fair. I'll give you that one.
Because that's what we deal with a company in Cleveland, and he was there today. And he's like, what did he say? He said, if Baker would have had Cooper, he said, things may have been different. And I said, well, Baker found his Cooper.
Yeah.
And I said, it's the same kind of receiver. I was like, so Baker's...
Yeah. It's also, Baker, granted they weren't maybe the names of their past, and I'm pulling up their depth chart to be fair. I'm fairly certain Baker had Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry. And I would say Jarvis Landry, he definitely had Jarvis, Antonio Callaway. I'm trying to see who else wide receivers. Don't know. Brashard Perryman, Jarvis Landry, Josh Gordon, Antonio Callaway. So they got Odell the next year. Yes, hindsight 2020, you might be like, oh, take Amari. I would say Amari Cooper and Jarvis Landry are pretty even, guys to be your guy. I think Cooper's better, but Jarvis Landry's pretty good at football.
Yeah, he wasn't bad. I'd rather be thrown to Cooper.
Fair point, Chipper. What do you got going on this weekend?
Nothing that I'm aware of.
Nice.
I don't think anything. The grass isn't growing, so you don't got to mow because we haven't had rain
since dry here too.
Since I think before we went to Nashville.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Not supposed to get any more rain till next week.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
not
So the
going to grow.
grass
But
isn't growing, so who
but
knows? Nothing really big planned. How about you?
going over to Cats tonight. Nothing the next 2 nights except for the show. Saturday we're going to some fair, and then Sunday we are hanging out with Cat's family for a dinner. It's potentially the last dinner of everyone, with potential move on the horizon for her parents. So we'll see.
When's Amelia start T-ball?
Well, it's this Sunday, so we're going to the game. She plays only on Sundays though.
I
So
saw that. That's weird.
yeah, I feel for all the parents and boyfriends of aunts.
Well, remember, you took up a lot of soccer days playing soccer.
Oh
So,
yeah, no, I know that. I take full credit for you not being a Steelers fan. It's my fault. But all right, anything else you want to get off your chest, Paw?
no, not really. I think that's it.
Sounds good. You can check us out on Spotify. I'm getting a headphone hair thing. Spotify and the tube of you. Boyd had bowling tonight. He did reply back.
Boyd had bowling.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you guys next time.
Everybody stay safe.